Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. There's a slightly delay due to the fact that the Sheikh is a bit delayed. So the Shura has decided that at least we'll read Salat at about 1 o'clock. And then when the Sheikh when he comes, and then he'll start his program, inshallah. So we humbly request the brothers, inshallah, those who still need to make wudu, inshallah, you can proceed and make wudu. Adhan will be given now, and then inshallah, as 1 o'clock we'll start Salat, inshallah. Oh, the Sheikh is here, alhamdulillah. But we'll still read Salat, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
Ini kasa. Ini imam ya, ini mulana ini.
Make Adhan.
Wait. Nah. You can go and find a masjid, it's fine.
Anyway, wherever you feel comfortable.
No, go and stand. I want another. الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Inshallah, immediately after Salat, the program will start, inshallah. Those brothers who are still interested in reading Sunnah, you can read a bit later, due to the fact that the Sheikh will be leaving, inshallah ta'ala. And a special request has been made to all the brothers that Allah ta'ala has blessed with cell phones, that since we'll be reading Salat, kindly please switch them off or keep it on silent, inshallah. Jazakallah. And the main announcement is that inshallah after the program there will be lunch served, inshallah. So we're humbly requesting all the brothers to take part in that. Jazakallah.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
It's okay,
It's
no?
all right.
It's okay, no?
لا إله إلا الله حول. استووا اعتدلوا. Straighten yourself shoulder to shoulder. Don't let any space between your fellow Muslim brother. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الاخره حسنه وقنا عذاب النار اللهم انت السلام ومنك السلام وتبارك يا ذا الجلال والاكرام سمعنا واطعنا وغفرانك ربنا واليك المصير اللهم ات نفوسنا تقواها وزكها انت خير من زكاها انت ولي ومولاها سبحان ربك رب العزه عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Assalamu alaikum. As Brother Chobe stated that given the limited time, we're starting with the program immediately. And the first item is to request Qari Sahib to inshallah start the program with the recital of the Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا صدق الله العظيم.
MashaAllah, siyabonga mholi mdale ngathi angagcina inshallah, and we continue hearing your voice in our masajid. Alhamdulillah, I'm not going to be long because We are here to listen to the Sheikh, and our time is very limited. We are fortunate to have Sheikh Siraj Wahhaj from New York blessing our shores. Sheikh, just briefly, was part of the Nation of Islam. When Imam Wallace Din Muhammad took over, Sheikh then moved over from the ideology that was taught by the Nation of Islam to Sunni Islam, and then was later moved on to New York, where he set up the Sunni Masjid. Sheikh was joking with us that he became so strong in Sunni activities and going around that part of his name became Sheikh Siraj Sunni Wahhaj. So we are very fortunate. Sheikh comes from an area where we are aware that post-civil rights activities in the US, a lot of social ills came in. Now they've overcome some of them, or in the process of addressing them. We know we are facing similar things after our so-called freedom that took place in '94. We now have drugs and things that we never had in our community coming through. Sheikh was kind enough to say he's only heard about the Black Muslim Conference now, but he's already raised his hand and has agreed to be the guest speaker, inshallah, next year. Without wasting any time, Sheikh Siraj, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. Habibi. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu amma ba'd. Brothers and sisters, I am very grateful to Allah the Almighty to have the privilege to address you for a few moments, and I want to let you know I'm only going to speak a couple of minutes. I promise you that I'll be finished before 3 hours. So you're laughing. When you look up at the clock, you say, what? He was serious. My message today is very simple. You know, brothers, Allah bless me, I have come to love Muslims everywhere. And even though I love Muslims everywhere, I've been all over the world, but there's nothing like the Muslims in South Africa. I don't know what it is. I don't know, I'm not sure. Me and Ali, we're trying to figure it out. I'm not sure. But I want to say that I am in love with Muslims everywhere. I remember last year, I'm at the Newark airport, and I'm standing outside, and I'm in the wrong terminal. So cab comes up, he opens the window and say, do you need help? I said, yes. I have to go to such and such terminal. He said, get into the car. Happened to be a Muslim from Saudi Arabia. I am a complete stranger. He didn't know Imam Siraj Wahhaj. He looked at me, he said, this must be a Muslim. So he said, I want you to make a prayer for me. He said, me and my wife, we've been married for many years and never had a child. Can you please make dua for us? Allah says in Quran, قَالَ رَبُّكُمْ أُدْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ. Your Lord said, call upon me and I will answer. And even though I never met this man, every day, all day long, for at least 1 week, I ask Allah to bless them with a child. There's something special about Muslims and our relationship. Every Muslim I know want to go to Jannah. But there is a key to Jannah. لا تدخلوا الجنة حتى تؤمنوا. And you ain't going to go to Jannah until you believe. ولا تؤمنوا حتى تحبوا. And you will never believe until you love one another. Do you love me? A little bit? Do you love the Sheikh? So, I want to let you know that I am making the dua for you. And I will make it every day, asking Allah the Almighty to bless you. And don't ever underestimate the power of dua. I was in Atlanta, Georgia, about 1.5 years ago, and a man came up to me and said, Assalamu alaikum. and it seemed to be with his wife and his daughter. There was nothing about this man to make you think he's Muslim. He didn't have a kufi, he didn't have a beard, he didn't have henna, he didn't have Islamic dress, his wife didn't wear kimar, his daughter didn't wear kimar. There was nothing about them to make you think that they're Muslim. So my question to you, should I return the salams? I'm asking you. Yes. Return this. Who say I should return the salams? Who say I shouldn't? You say you shouldn't? I'm going to talk to you later, okay? I said to him, Assalamu alaikum. He said to me, I am a Muslim from China. And I'm going to be here in the United States for about a week. Where can I get halal food? You see, you want to judge him. You want to look at him and make a judgment. When the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, was asked, Ayu Islam khair? What Islam is the best? He said, Tut'imu ta'am wa taqru salam ala man araftum wa man lam ta'rif. The best Islam is to feed the people and to give salams to those whom you know and those whom you don't know. So I said to him, give me your name and your phone number. I'll find a place for you where you can get halal food. I said, what's your name? And I'm about to write it down. He said, my name is Jonathan. I put my pen down. He's from China. His name is Jonathan. So I said to him, your name ain't Jonathan. He started laughing. He said, you're right. I said, what's your real name? I don't remember exactly what he said, but something like this. Ajuan. I said, oh, Jonathan. I get it. So little things about Muslims. I was in Washington, D.C. one year. We had a program. And when the program was over, a brother came to me and said, Imam, there's a brother in the hospital. Can you make dua? This is what Muslims do. We make dua, right? And I asked the brother, where is he? He said, he's in a hospital. How far is it from here? He said, it's not so far. I said, come, let's go. So we went to the hospital. And when we entered the room, the brother said, there's someone here to see you, Imam Siraj Wahhaj. He said, stop it. Imam Siraj is not here. He said, yeah, he is. He says, no, he's not. I went to him and said, Assalamu alaikum. You should have seen the smile on his face. The fact that I would take the time to come visit him, a stranger whom I don't know, but heard about me because this is the brotherhood. I say all of this today. I'm going to say a hadith of the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, make a little commentary, and then we finish. Famous hadith, Ashraf fil Jannah. There are 10 companions that he mentioned by name will be in Jannah. This is not the only 10, but he mentioned these 10 in one hadith. It's called Al-Ashr al-Mubashirin, the 10 promised Jannah good news. You know most of them. Abu Bakr fil Jannah, and Umar fil Jannah, and Uthman and Ali. But the fifth one I'm going to mention, and I'm going to do some commentary. Abdul Rahman ibn Auf fil Jannah. Abdul Rahman ibn Auf fil Jannah. One of the first people to take Shahada. Among the first 8, he was one of the ones who took Shahada. And the Prophet ﷺ said he's going to be in Jannah. I don't know about you. I believe everything the Prophet said, ﷺ. Everything that he said, I believe. Whoever obeys the Prophet has in fact obeyed Allah. And we are called upon to believe in the Prophet, to trust the Prophet ﷺ. And if he said these 10 people in Jannah, they're in Jannah. I want to fast forward toward the end of the life of Abdul Rahman ibn Auf. One day Aisha radiallahu anha, they were in the city of Medina, and she heard this huge noise. And she looked and she saw a big cloud of dust. And she said, what is that? They said it is the caravan of Abdul Rahman ibn Auf. A caravan of 700 camels with goods from Syria. huge. And when the caravan of Abdurrahman ibn Auf came, everybody came out. They want to buy some of the goods of the caravan of Abdurrahman ibn Auf radiallahu anhu. And he said, he looked at the people and said, this caravan and all the goods on it, I give away all of it fi sabilillah. Every bit of it fi sabilillah. You can't appreciate what he did until I go back and tell you something that happened. You see, brothers and sisters, we must have a bond of brotherhood. Inna hadi ummatin wahida wa ana rabbukum fa'budun. This ummah of yours is one ummah. 1,800,000,000 Muslims is one ummah. And Allah said, I am your Lord, so worship me. The Prophet ﷺ was very wise. In everything that he did for Allah with a wisdom. These muhajirun who left Mecca, I want you to appreciate this. They left Mecca with nothing. They left their homes behind. I want you to think about your house that you live in. I don't care how poor it is, but it's yours and everything in it. Your clothing, everything in it, everything in it. You leave for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they left and they made migration and they left Mecca and they went into Medina with nothing. Their businesses, everything they left behind. And the Prophet ﷺ understand this. آخر رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بين عبد الرحمن بن عوف وسعد ibn Rabi'ah. And the Prophet made a bond of brotherhood between the Muhajirun and the Ansar. The Prophet put Abdurrahman ibn Auf with Sa'd ibn Rabi'ah, the wealthiest of the Ansar. You know the hadith, but you got to appreciate it. He said, I am the wealthiest of the Ansar. You take half my wealth. What Muslim you know who do that? Think about it. You got money in the bank, half that is yours. You got stocks, half that is yours. You got jewelry, half that is yours. What is it? Half of what I have is yours because of the bond of brotherhood. But what's astounding is the response of Abdurrahman ibn Auf. If that was most of us, we say, Allahu Akbar. Where can I show me your stuff so I can take half of it? He said, may Allah bless your wealth and your family. Duluni ala suq. Show me the marketplace. Meaning, I'll get it myself. Thank you. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your offer, but I don't want it. I believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I know that this earth is spacious. So Allah tells us in Quran, فَإِذَا قُضِيَتِ الصَّلَاةِ فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَابْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ. And when the Jummah is over, when the prayer is over, go to the earth. Go search the earth looking for the bounties of Allah. They're there. You want to be wealthy? Don't cut yourself off from the mercy and the bounty of Allah for seeking for someone else to help you to do what you can do for yourself. Do it for yourself. If you believe, if you have trust and faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So brothers and sisters, I just wanted to say that this is a bond of brotherhood, me and Ali. We traveled here from the United States together. You know what? If I ever were going to make migration, it'd be right here. If I ever thought about extending my trip and staying, it would be now, but I'm not going to do it. My wife wouldn't like that. She expects me back at a certain time. Inshallah, I will be there. So brothers and sisters, may Allah bless you. Keep strong the bond of brotherhood. Work together, struggle together. deal with your issues together, because the answer will not come from an outsider like me. The answer will come from you. You who struggle here. You will find the answer. I will do what I do as a Muslim. I will help, but it will come from you. Ain't no outsider coming to lead you nowhere. It's you. And I make dua for you and your families and my extreme love for you. Assalamu alaikum.
Allah. It's incredible how Allah bless certain people with very few words. There's just so much that we can benefit from the Sheikh. And the timing of the message of the Sheikh is incredible, given that we are busy working towards a Black Muslim conference. And the aim is not to fight anyone. It's precisely what the Sheikh said, that Abdurrahman ibn Auf was given an opportunity of taking half the wealth, and he said, show me the marketplace. It's an opportunity for us to say, we have been fed for way too long. How can we now start doing for Deen rather than others doing for us? It's not to fight anyone, and Sheikh has agreed, after we explained to him the purposes and the aims of the conference, to say that inshallah next year he'll join us. We will open a communication channel with the Sheikh as Muslims in Soweto so that we can benefit from their experiences and use those experiences to fuel us to start doing more for our Deen, inshallah. Siyabonga to the Sheikh. Amir, are you around? Please bring 5-10 minutes. Okay, open to question and answers from them. Before Sondeza, Sheikh, from the Muslims of Soweto, there's a little something that we brought.
Okay.
You complained that your wife may shout you because you did not bring any souvenirs. There's a little something for the wife. Coming from Tanzania. There's also a little something coming from Kenya, inshallah, Amir, while brothers are preparing questions, inshallah.
Yes, inshallah.
Okay. Any questions? Yeah. Bismillah. Here's the chair.
Okay. This is my cell and email address.
Perfect. Last one. Thank you.
S. Wahhaj, W-A-H-H-A-J, at
That's A.
Siraj.
Raj. Perfect.
Siraj.
Oh, there's it. I've got it. Shukran. Any questions? Okay. Sondela, so the Muslims of Soweto.
This is not for my wife, this is for me.
That's for you.
I want to be sure, right?
This is for the wife. Inshallah, it's a piece of material, African print that we got from Tanzania. That will be for the wife, inshallah. As we've said, Sheikh Ali has promised this is not the last trip. When he comes through, inshallah, we'll have something. Sheikh Ali wants to start a martial arts class in Soweto, so we don't know if that will happen anytime soon. Inshallah. Questions, inshallah, brothers?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It's an absolute pleasure to have you in South Africa. I'm with Radio Islam. I do have a question for you. We're seeing the Muslim communities across the world, in South Africa, other parts of the world, Sudan, Afghanistan, and many others as well, especially America as well, under the presidency of Donald Trump. Islam has come under severe attack. Muslims have come under severe attack. As a propagator of Deen, as an orator, as an imam, obviously it's people like you, alims, and many other Muslim scholars across the world that have a very important role to play in propagating Deen to the highest standards. Given the current climate in America at the moment, what is your advice to Muslims across the world, and how do we effectively spread the beautiful message of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam effectively across the world?
I want to be honest with you. How many of you heard of Donald Trump? Why is it, no, you've heard of Donald Trump. Why is it every time I mention his name, people start laughing? Like he's a punchline, a clown. Be honest with you, if you follow the politics in the United States, the elections, you see he ran against a woman called Hillary Clinton. In my opinion, Hillary Clinton would have been a much better president. But if Hillary Clinton had become president of the United States, the Muslims would have went to sleep. Malcolm X used to say, you want to be eaten up by the wolf or tricked by the fox? Donald Trump, I believe in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, "Ajibin li amru mu'min." Wondrous is the affair of a believer. No matter what happens for him is good. If Allah gives him some blessing, he's thankful, and if Allah gives him some trial, he has sabr, he has patience. You may not believe this. Time will tell. Donald Trump will do more for the unity of Muslims than any other thing. Not only are Muslims uniting everywhere because of the rhetoric and the policy of Donald Trump, Muslims realize, man, we got to fight. We got to stand up, man, because this man will send us back to the dark ages. So what he has done now, you see, and this is how Allah works. We have more congresswomen now, Muslims. Ilham Omar from Minnesota, she's in the Congress now. Rashid Tlaib from Detroit, Michigan, she's now in the Congress. And we have another congressman, a Muslim congressman, Indiana. What's his name, Ali? I can't remember his name. And then we had another Muslim congressman in Minnesota who ran for attorney general and won in those elections. We find now, because of what's happening, Muslims now are engaging, coming involved in the electoral Congress and people in local politics and national politics. Not only that, Donald Trump has caused a lot of non-Muslims to work with Muslims, fight against the policies, uniting against the policies of Donald Trump. We used to tell people a long time ago, when white racists against black people, we used to say, don't think they're just against black people. You will see they're against you. When a man like Donald Trump, at first it seems like he's against black people, but he's against immigrants. And he's against Latino. He's against African people. All of these things people be able to see, Allah shows us. And this is why the Prophet says, alayhi salatu wasalam, Antum shuhada Allah fil ard. You are Allah's witnesses on earth. How many of you ever heard of Harvard Law School? Harvard Law School. Harvard Law School, Sheikh, is one of the most prestigious universities in the world. Harvard Law School is where President Obama graduated from. In the entrance of the faculty library at Harvard Law School is an ayat from the Quran. And they said that this is the most, one of the most extreme examples, I forgot the word they use, of justice. O you who believe, stand out firmly for justices, witnesses for Allah, even against your own selves or against your parents or against the near relatives. People know about Islam. You'd be surprised. And Donald Trump is making it even further. People taking Shahada now. So I would say to the Muslims around the world, our struggle, and I'm talking about in democracies, because where are the Muslims? 1,800,000,000 Muslims around the world, 1/3 of them live in non-Muslim countries. So where do you find them? You find them in the United States, you find them in Great Britain, you find them in Australia, you find them all over the world. You find the Muslims in a lot of democracies. And you will find that those Muslims in those democracies are developing and growing. In Great Britain, since 1960, 10,000 churches have closed. And they said by the end of 2020, another 4,000 churches will be closed. There are now more masjids in England than the Church of England. And you find that all over the Western world, when churches are closing down, masjids are opening up. I was in Scotland 2 weeks ago, and we were driving down the main street, Saturday, 2 o'clock. And I looked and saw a big church. And I asked Naeem, my driver, I said, Naeem, what church is that? What denomination 2 o'clock on Saturday? He said, Imam, that's not a church. It's a pub. You know what a pub is? A pub is a place where a nightclub. They drink alcohol. In England, if a building is developed as a church, even if they close down, you can't change the structure. So it has to still look like a church. And we were driving down the main road in Scotland, and he said, Imam, look at that there. That's not a church. That's not a church. That's not a church. Church is closing down. That's happened all in the Western world. If you study the Western world, you will see. Right now in England, more than 1/3 of the churches in England, average attendance on Sunday, less than 20 people. It's closing. So right now is the time for the Muslims in the West, stand up. You know, when pressure comes, there's a tendency within man to hide, to shrink, to be quiet, don't say nothing. Be the opposite. You stand up. You stand up for your rights. You can do in South Africa a lot of stuff we can't do in the United States. You have a kind of freedom and a respect for religion that they don't have in the United States and other countries. They'll start calling us strange names. So take advantage of that. You, all of us in the West, you take advantage of that. Now is the time. Don't run. Don't hide. You stand up, and you will find out that there will be people who will come to the fold of Islam. I believe that people will come in the fold of Islam by companies. The time is right. Amen.
I normally pose this question to most of our guests that come and visit us now. Okay, not the exceptionist. Yes. One of the challenges we're facing as the Muslims in the township is the tussle between various ideologies or sects within Islam. And as you know that we are still new in this journey. We find that when this group comes, wants to pull you out into this one, when the other one comes, you know, so much so that sometimes they even discourage you from attending each other's program. I think you might have seen as well that there's a mosque, not far from here. Yeah, we passed the mosque. And at one stage there was a kind of a clash between the Musallis and all this thing of this mosque where, you know, when you go there, they say, no, you're not a Muslim, you must take your Shahada again, and all these things, you know. So I'm saying, I don't know, what will be your advice in as far as, because really this is affecting our deen. Some of the people, they end up really getting frustrated, you know, and say, what's happening now? We thought this thing was in Christianity, but here it's worse. You know, I am a Muslim, but somebody comes and tells you you're not a Muslim enough. And this thing. So how do we really navigate this phenomenon that is really affecting us religiously, and this thing, and it's really...
Thank you, Sheikh. It's a very good question, and it is a question not unlike Muslims everywhere. I am, I think because of my own history, I'm perhaps a little bit more lenient than most Muslims. 1969, I joined a group called Black Muslims. The attraction for the Black Muslims, for me, as a black man, was that there were people, man, that dealt with our issues as black people. So when I first joined the Nation of Islam, I didn't join the Nation of Islam because of the Islam. I joined the Nation of Islam because of the blackness and my desire to, you know, to be with my people. I learned a lot in the Nation of Islam, but in 1975, alhamdulillah, we became Muslims. We're no longer black Muslims, we were Muslims. Allah, He named us Muslims in the Quran. Allah named us Muslims, right? So therefore, when I see Muslims, I ain't looking for perfection. You're not going to find perfection. You're going to find every group somewhere got something. So rather than pinpointing that one thing, that thing there that, you know, you a little bit different, I try to work together with all the Muslims that I can. If it becomes too extreme against Islam and against our deen, then I have to avoid it. I don't publicly go around condemning anybody. That's not my way. It's not my way. But I will do this. I will go to them privately. I'll say this to you so that you know. Minister Farrakhan is one of the most charismatic, eloquent speakers ever, right? Is he there now, Islamically, Aqidah and all of that? Is he there? No, no, no. But he will tell you how many times Imam Siraj went to him, to his house, to speak to him, to encourage him, to remind him. Don't beat him up publicly. And as a result of that, they've made many changes. I give him one example. When do we fast? Ramadan. It's clear in the Quran. In the Nation of Islam, they didn't used to fast at Ramadan. They fasted in December. Now, when a person does something, I want to know the rationale. Why he do that? Why he fast in December? And December is the shortest month. So for his followers that are new, he wanted to give them a short month. I wouldn't do it that way. So I went to the minister and I said, Brother Minister, Allah says that we should fast in Ramadan. You can't fast in December. This years ago. He said, Imam, you know what? You're going to see. We're going to make some changes. Starting 10 years ago, they fast now in Ramadan with the rest of the Muslims. He's ordering now his community to make salat. Years ago, they didn't make salat the way we did, the way we do. In the Nation of Islam, their prayer was to face the east and stand up, and this was their prayer. I talked to the minister about it. That the Prophet said, Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli. Pray as you see me pray. And now he's ordering his community to pray. They used to meet on Sundays. They have their gatherings on Sunday. I said, Brother Minister, Allah mentions Jum'ah, Salatul Jum'ah. This was our gathering. So Minister Farrakhan ordered all of his followers to establish Jum'ah prayer. It's a process. How many remember the Million Man March? 1 million black men came to Washington, D.C. to listen to Minister Farrakhan. No imam I know, the highest level of knowledge, can get 1 million black people in Washington, D.C. Farrakhan did. Farrakhan invited me to speak. And when he invited me to speak, I was honest and said, no, Brother Minister, I'm not going to speak. Why? Because at that time, I didn't want to legitimize him in my own thinking. Some imams criticized me, said, Imam, you should have gone, you could have spoken, you couldn't give dawah. Fast forward, Minister Farrakhan invited me to speak at their national conference called Savior's Day. And I said to the minister, I have to take shura with the imams in New York City. He has 7 imams in New York City. And he brought his top leadership to my masjid, trying to encourage me to come. And we agreed that Imam Siraj would come. I came and I did Jummah prayer there. Minister Farrakhan didn't tell me what to say. He didn't give me a script. What's my point? My point is, when I didn't go to the Million Man March, I did it for Allah. When I went there to speak at his convention, I did it for Allah. You got to do it for Allah. And even though people are going to criticize you, what am I saying? That despite of all the issues in the Aqidah, I never gave up on the minister. I never gave up on the Nation of Islam. Why? I used to be a part of that. And I want them to come. You don't know this, but many people from the Nation of Islam have left and become Sunni Muslims. So, Sheikh, to answer your question is that, you know, certainly the details, it matters. In general, man, you got to be like, come on, man, let's work together. I'm part of the Masjid of New York City. I'm the vice president. And my job is to work with the Muslims everywhere, anywhere we can. There's going to be some questions of Aqidah here and there, but what kind of strategy can we have to work together in the end? This is Ummatan Wahida. And especially we cannot be divided on color. That's going backwards. So let us struggle, Sheikh. I'm not going to minimize what you say, but again, the more specific people are with me, the more specific I will be. But if you're talking about it in generality, try your best to work together, inshallah.
Okay, my name is Abdul Rashid. I'm from Western area. MashaAllah, I was with the Sheikh yesterday, alhamdulillah, support. Okay, so now I want to ask you, Imam Siraj, what is the most effective way of spreading da'wah in the community? Like, what methods can we, as the youth specifically, because I feel like we have, as the youth, we have much more responsibilities that we have to uphold to. So now, in terms of spreading da'wah, what is the most effective way that we can utilize to spread da'wah?
Okay. I have given workshops on da'wah, about 7 hours. So I'm going to give a 7-hour workshop now. Just what you want? Just what you want, right? You want me to answer the effective way of da'wah? It's going to take 7 hours. You want me to do that? Yeah, you get out of here. This is my last question. We have to go. We have to take a flight. There are many issues. One, ud'u ila sabila rabbika bil hikmah wa ma'idatan hasana. Invite to the way of thy Lord with wisdom and beautiful preaching. That aside, many people think that da'wah is kayfa, how you do it, how you do da'wah. But I have come to the conclusion that all these years, the most important thing about da'wah is that you care about the people. You cannot give da'wah to people you hate. You can't do it. You can't do it. I have a profound love now for people. Don't you sit next to me on the plane unless you want me to talk to you about Islam. I don't know about you, man. You know, when I'm reading something, I don't like people reading over my shoulder. How about you? You same way? I met you same way? Nobody likes that. One day I'm on the plane, right? And I'm reading some Islamic literature. So this guy to my right, I'm noticing he's trying to see what I'm reading, right? I would like this. And he said, are you Muslim? I said, yes. I railed him in and started talking to him about Islam. You will find every day there's an opportunity for you in a way to give da'wah in a very easy way. We were driving from an airport one day. A brother picked me up from the airport, and we went into one of those toll booths. And the brother had a really nice stove, white European American, and he's on the passenger side. He's on the driver's side. I'm on the passenger side. So the woman said, man, that's a nice outfit you have on. He said, thank you, and he drove on. I said, no, son. This woman was begging for you to give her dawah. Say something. Madam, thank you. You know, this is an Islamic dress. You know, this way Muslims dress and blah, blah, blah. You get 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Don't just say thank you. And you will find out every day there's a chance to give dawah. I give another example. I was on British Airways. How many of you ever flew on British Airways? Anyway, so the flight attendant comes to me and said, sir, can I give you some wine? I said, I'd love to have some wine, but I'm a Muslim and I can't. Reel her in. Always an opportunity, but you know what? You gotta care. إِنَّكَ لَتَحْدِي مَنْ أَحْبَبْتَ وَلَكِنَ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ. Allah said, you can't guide whom you love, but Allah guides to the straight path whomsoever He wills. Do you care about the people? And you can't be arrogant. You can't approach the people thinking they're going to accept Islam when you're being down on them. You dummy, you this and you that and you that and you ain't got none and you going to hell. They ain't going to be Muslim. They're not going to be Muslim. And you will find out if you be patient with the people, share the people. And one of the things Ali will say about me and Ali, we always studying current events. What's going on in the country. And you find out that's the way we can, it's a long talk, but in general, you got to care. And you see the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, when he came with the Quran, when the Quran was revealed to him, how many Muslims were there? The Quran was revealed to him. How many Muslims are there? Not even one. Who he talking to? How you be a Muslim and all you talk to is Muslims? In that time, during the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, he always went to the people, trying to bring the people to Islam, even when the people fought against him. I'll give you an example. Aisha radiallahu anha said, Ya Rasulullah, hal ata alayka yawman kana shadda min yawmin Uhud? Has there been a day more difficult for you than the day of Uhud? Muslims died. Hamza died. They were killed in the battle of Uhud. Muslims lost the battle. Bad day. The commander of the enemies against Islam, Abu Sufyan. Commander of the right flank, Khalid ibn Walid. Commander of the left flank, Ikram ibn Abi Jahli. Commander of the cavalry, Amr ibn al-As. See the four that I named? Every one of them became Muslim, even though they fought against the Prophet and fought against Islam. You gotta take the time. If I'm ever disappointed in one thing about the Muslim Ummah, is we spend no time, no resources for da'wah. We spend money on Islamic education. We should. I was in Memphis, Tennessee. It's called the Pleasant View School. Had a fundraiser one night, raised $950,000 for Muslim school. We should. I was in a place in Canada called Fort McMurray, Canada, had a fundraiser at Juma prayer to raise money for the expansion of the Masjid. We raised $1,250,000 Juma prayer for a Masjid. We should. But you ask the communities how much they spend on da'wah. Nobody spend no money on da'wah. Da'wah is the most important. We do it as the least. You are out of your mind. This is what it's all about, man. These masks are supposed to bust out with people trying to come in. You know, and I've been saying for a long time, the problem with the Muslims is one of the product and the salesman. Sometimes you have people that got a very bad product, but they're good salesmen. You ask me, you tell me, cigarettes are good product or bad product? The World Health Organization said that at the end of the 21st century, if the nations do nothing about it, 1 billion people would have died as a result of smoking cigarettes. Horrible product. 450,000 Americans die every year as a result of cigarettes. Why they sell so much? That's a bad product, because they got good salesmen. Advertise, they spent, I'm trying to remember, over $2 billion to advertise cigarettes. Slick ads get you to buy their product, get you to buy alcohol. Bad product, but good, slick advertisement. And then there are some people that got a good product, but bad salesmen. If the people could only taste this product, oh man, they would get it, but the salesmen are horrible. We got the best product. We got Islam. How come the people don't got it? A lot has to do. You can say, yeah, Imam, Allah God, whoever he wants. That's true. But the question is, what have we done? What have we done? How much da'wah have we done? I go to all over. I'm invited in the United States. It's called Muslim Student Association. Every year. They call it Islamic Awareness Week. So the purpose of Islamic Awareness Week is to tell non-Muslims about Islam. And every time I go, I look at the audience, right? Islamic Awareness Week, 99% Muslim audience. So you know what I do? I close my notebook, and I go one by one, and I ask them, how many people did you invite to this meeting today? How many people did you invite? How many people did you invite? How many people? And you find out none of them invited anyone, maybe one or two. No, man, it's work. Dawah is work. And when you care about the people, you go to the people, man. There are a lot of people here, man, they may have some words against us on Yawm al-Qiyamah. If you don't think so, Allah will ask Noah, alayhi salatu wasalam, hal balagta? Did you deliver the message? Qala na'am, ya Rabb. Yes, I did. And then Allah will ask the people, did he deliver the message? They said, no, nobody came to us. Allah go back to Noah and says, who will be your witness You got any witnesses? Qala Muhammad wa ummah. Muhammad and his ummah. And we will bear witness 950 years, night and day. How much night and day did you spend calling people to Islam? Huh? How many days, how many nights, how many hours, what did you do? How much money did you spend for the people that are dying? The people in the society are dying and they're going to hell and we're sitting there like nothing. This is mindless to me. And you know, it don't take a whole lot of money. Okay, if you're a masjid, yes, you put your money together, but as an individual, and I know what it is, you know, people don't like to be rejected. People don't like to be rejected. That's why Allah said, think not that is the rejection of you. They're rejecting the signs of Allah. Just ask the people. You'll be surprised. Ain't how to do it. It's do you care. Listen, I got to go. May Allah bless you. I love you. Assalamu alaikum.
Mufti Sahib, may I request dua, inshallah, before we leave? Sheikh has to go now.
I insist. You know I insist. You know I insist. You know it. You know me by now. Not going to happen.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم لك الحمد كله ولك الشكر كله وإليك يرجع الأمر كله لا نحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك اللهم صل على محمد كلما ذكره الذاكرون وصل على محمد كلما غفل عن ذكره الغافلون. Oh beloved Allah, merciful Allah, oh Allah, we ask and we beseech and we beg of you that, oh Allah, inspire us with these words that we heard from our beloved Imam Siraj. Oh Allah, inspire us like how you inspired him, oh Allah. Oh Allah, bless us with the qualities that you blessed him with, oh Allah. Oh Allah, increase him in his qualities, increase us in our qualities, oh Allah. Oh Allah, like you have gathered us here today, oh Allah, gathered us on the plains of Qiyamah, gather us in Jannah, oh Allah. Oh Allah, soften our hearts to your deen, oh Allah. Oh Allah, soften our hearts to your creation, oh Allah. Oh Allah, grant us love, unity, muhabbah, remove all of the differences, the hardships, the trial, tribulations that we are facing, oh Allah. Oh Allah, we have no doubt that the solutions lie with you, oh Allah. You have made us feeble, weak creations, oh Allah. All we can do is succumb to your guidance, succumb to the guidance from your side, O Allah. O Allah, guide us in the way that we work for your deen, O Allah. O Allah, make us from those who are guided and not from those who are misguided, O Allah. O Allah, we beseech and we ask you, those who are influential in bringing our Imam and his guest, Brother Ali, to our shores, O Allah, you reward them kindly, O Allah. O Allah, bring our Imam over and over, O Allah. Guide our scholars, O Allah. Guard our scholars, O Allah. O Allah, keep their shadow over us for a long time, O Allah. O Allah, we are youth. We have no idea on how to proceed, O Allah. We, O Allah, are dependent on the guidance of our seniors, O Allah, on their experiences, O Allah. O Allah, we beseech and we ask you this humble supplication, this humble effort that we have here. O Allah, most of all, accept it from us, O Allah. Grant us ikhlas and sincerity. We beseech all of the good which Sayyiduna Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam sought. O Allah, we beseech protection from all of the evil that our Master sallallahu alayhi wa sallam sought protection from. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. Oh Allah, the onward journey of our beloved Imam, when he's traveling to Durban and then coming back, oh Allah, we ask you to grant safety in that journey, to grant ease in that journey, oh Allah, and put effect in that words. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een walhamdulillahi rabbil